Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. So this is going to be a good one. This is a match I haven't done yet. For some reason, I haven't. So basically, it's Beastmen against Lizardmen. So this is really fun. So I got frontline, just cheap Ungor. These are just literally just to pin stuff in place. I don't care if they die at all. They're just cheap crap, but they will, you know, get in the way of Saurus Warriors and Temple Guard and Skinks. They'll just, yeah, get in the way. And basically everything else is just expensive stuff that I need. Well, okay, the Ungor Raiders, not so much. But these guys, again, they can just harass a lot, and I can have them just run away from things a lot, which will be good. Also, I've got a Bray Shaman, the Wild. He's got Traitorkin, which is good against single target, so hopefully it'll help. If there's like a few dinosaurs blobbed up, I can hit them all and do some pretty significant damage. Also, I've got Mordecai, the Shadow Gave, because frankly, being able to turn, you know, stuff into Chaos Spawn is going to be really useful, because that's going to help sort of, you know, put their war machine to a halt, really. It's just going to, you know, get stuff in the gears. They're not going to be able to move well. So the dinosaurs can't run through Chaos Spawn, right? So very useful, and that's why these guys are so fantastic. These Minotaurs are great weapons. So if we look at their stats quickly, so 110 weapon damage, it's armor piercing, so that is 77 armor piercing damage, and 28 bonus versus large. These guys are basically made for just killing dinosaurs. You get these guys, you know, attack a dinosaur, it's going to get stuck, you know, amongst them, and like 4 or 5 of these guys are going to be able to hit it at a time. It's just going to do so much damage. And that plus 28 with a melee attack of 36, it basically means they're going to hit every time, which is amazing. These guys just clean up. So got to make sure these guys don't get killed by Temple Guard. So over here, I've actually got some tentacles with throwing axes, so just so I can have something that can stand back a bit and do some damage, basically. Because again, armor-piercing missiles can be really useful, and these guys will be able to chase down fleeing units. I've also got Chaos Warhound with poison. These guys are fantastic for chasing down skirmishers, just because they can poison them. So, you know, it slows them down. You know, they lose some stats there, and they can clean them up really well, because they don't have to worry about, you know, being able to get through armor or anything, because, yeah, it's not like skirmishers are very armored. So these guys will be really useful. Unfortunately, I've only got the 1 unit, and over here I've got the usual Centicles with great weapons, only 2 units, which hopefully will be enough. But yeah, that armor piercing is going to really help. So, and more maneuverability, and I want a lot of things that are maneuverable. So here, he actually put his Chameleon Skinks right in front of me, so I'm shooting at them straight away, which is good, so I'm getting some early damage on them, because these guys are going to be a pain. So, over here, so you can see he's got a Skink Chief, so in the air, you know, doesn't have to worry about air superiority much, right? He can bring stuff in the air pretty safely against the Beastmen. I mean, Harpies aren't going to be a massive pain, really, so having a Skink Chief just be able to do constant damage to me is pretty good, because these guys got pretty good, yeah, 445 missile damage, and it's poison, so these guys will do a fair bit of damage, and they'll really help in duels, you know, sort of tip the balance in their favour. So yeah, Skink Chief I think is a very good shout, especially on a Pterodon. I can't really hit it much. So right, so he's got Krokgar on Grimlock leading. He's also got a Saurus Scar Veteran, and he has a Bastillodon with a Revivification Crystal. His front line, very varied, so he's got Skinks there, Temple Guard, more Skinks, Saurus Warriors with Shields, Skinks, Temple Guard, and Skinks. And that's his army. So let's speed things up and see how it goes. So immediately start getting some early shots into these guys, which is so useful. I don't care if these guys get shot at all. Do these guys even have shields? I'm not sure. Yeah, they do have shields, so they're soaking up the missile fire really well. These guys aren't so much. So now start firing at the Skink Chief, because you can see the Ungor Raiders actually do a ton of damage against these guys. Look at that! It's huge! So yeah, so he charges in, because he's got to. So I sent some guys around that way, some guys around this way. So start to envelop them a bit. I'm waiting to see where my Minotaurs need to go. But yeah, a load of early damage on the Skink Chief is going to be really useful. Yeah, really easy to keep this guy safe, but he made the mistake of thinking he can actually take on the arrow fire from these guys. But he is trying to get some early damage on Morga, but it's not a lot, honestly. It's not a huge amount right now. So that's pretty great for me. So here, though, this is very wise. So my Centicles are throwing axes. They don't have shields or anything. They're going to take so much damage from these guys. So I need to get them out of there. And I'm going to bring these guys in. I'm going to send the Chaos Warhounds in to get these guys. So Hand of the Gods comes in, does some early damage to the Minotaurs. Fair enough. Big threat. So here, start retreating stuff, and these Minotaurs are going to get in there and do a lot of damage to the Saurus Scar Veteran. Unfortunately, he does have like Skinks coming in and some Temple Guards. The Temple Guard are really going to hurt, but as you can see, that Scar Veteran is taking a ton of damage. That Skink Chief, load of damage to him, And here I finally got my other Minotaurs on Krokgar. The thing is, Krokgar and the Scar Veteran, they do both have anti-large, so they are going to do a lot of damage, you know, in kind here. So, over here, I've got the Bastillodon sort of wrapped up here, but I'm basically just going for the Chameleon Skinks with these guys. But you can see they're doing a pretty good amount of damage to me, which is pretty annoying. So I'll bring these guys in now. I'm going to try and get them, you know, sort of after Krokgar. I might try and get the Revivification Crystal, because the sooner I can get rid of that, the less likely these guys are going to be able to keep healing. So it should be quite useful. But you can see the Scar Veteran's almost gone. So he's used Cold-Blooded, which I think is a mistake, because it will give him his health back, but it lowers his stats so much, it just means that I'm always getting guaranteed hits on him now. And even with these Chaos Spawn that have come in, so that's nice. So, yeah, annoyingly though, there's still a load of Skinks and Temple Guard in here that are going to be doing a ton of damage. And I do have my Brave Shaman in here by accident. Whoops, that's not good. So yeah, load of damage to the Bastillodon, but you know, he's still shooting me with the skirmishers. I should have been better to wrap them up, to be honest. So I'm trying to carry on charging through, but I've got guys breaking, which is annoying. This hasn't been going great, honestly. But my Minotaur's doing fantastically. So I pulled out these Minotaurs. So, you know, they wouldn't get killed by Temple Guard so much. Actually, no, I brought it from over here. My bad. But again, there's Temple Guard in the way. So here I'm going to intercept them with Ungor. So really cheap way just to pin them down for a while. So yeah, doing a ton of damage to Krokgar. He's using the Revivification Crystal, which is very irritating. We really need to get rid of this guy. And here I am managing to chase off these Chameleon Skinks. But you see, these guys aren't great at chasing them down. Like, they just keep sort of charging, hit a couple, and then they stop, and it's a real pain. Luckily, I think skirmish mode is on, because it looked like he just messed up and couldn't figure out which direction to go in, which is good for me. But yeah, kind of a waste of the Centaurs, to be honest. I need to just get the Poison Warhounds back in, which are over here at the moment. So here, I'm using these guys to harass the Skink Chief. Kind of a waste of the armor-piercing, you know, missiles, to be honest. So here, Revivification Crystal's still going. My Brave Shaman's still alive, though, so that's good news. But the Temple Guard are obviously beating the Ungor Herd. You know, it's kind of what you'd expect, right? So, and Temple Guard are chasing down my Minotaurs, so I need to get out of here. But I have managed to deal with this Bastillodon, so that's good news for me. And there he goes. So these guys need to get the hell out of there before I lose all my Minotaurs, because that's not good. And the Brave Shaman's going to get completely screwed. Basically, this isn't good. This is not a good engagement for me at all. Yeah, he did great here. Also, he's brought some Skinks back in, and they're wrapping up my Ungors. I can't really run away from the Skinks. The Skinks are too quick. So again, massive pain. So here, I've got my Sentinels and Throwing Axes. They were chasing off the Skink Chief, so that's great. I'm going to bring them back. I think I charged these guys to finish them off. And I finally got my Poison Warhounds in here to try and help wrap up these guys. Annoyingly, those are just some Skink cohorts that have come back. But, you know, Chameleon Skinks are gone. So, over in here now, so again, really bad engagement. I'm trying to pull out of it. So I'm pulling everyone back. I've got these guys nice and pulled back, so they're going to try and get Krokgar a bit. So a bit of extra damage there. Using the swiftness of Itzel to get some extra speed, which is, you know, fair enough. You can chase people down better. So I'm trying to intercept with more Ungor Herd, but they're not going to last long. They're pretty tired. Over here, Morga's been fighting these Saurus Warriors for ages. I was kind of expecting him to wrap these guys up fairly quickly, but it's taking him so long. So he will actually take a lot of damage before this fight is out. Also, the Skink Chief is back. Bloody Skink Chief. Told you he was good, but look, you can see he's wavering. He's not happy. So here I use a Traitorkin on these guys to try and whittle them down a bit, but it's not going to do a huge amount of damage. I mean, let's see the health tick down. It's barely doing a thing. Yeah, I think those arrows are doing all the damage, so yeah, not really worthwhile. Well, it's saying that. Looks like the health has gone down a fair bit. Anyway, so here, so Krokgar's in here. I've got my throwing axes. They keep throwing at the Temple Guards, which is annoying. So I'm having to constantly reorder them to attack these guys. It's really annoying. They're a bit dumb sometimes. They forget their orders and go, oh, well, I'm on fire at will. I'll just shoot something else nearby. It's quite frustrating. So here, I do have some Chaos Spawn again, so that's nice. Something got turned into Chaos Spawn. Not sure what. I think it was just Skinks, unfortunately. That's annoying. Would have been nice to turn Temple Guard into them. That would have been a great turnaround. So here, Brave Shaman's about to get just eaten to bits. That's not going to be good for him. But Krokgar taking a ton of damage. Still got the Skink Chief in the air, which is really irritating. I've still got Ungor Herd chasing off things, which is great. They are actually, you know, defeating these Skinks in melee. He does have Morga nearby, so that's probably keeping them in the fight long enough. Here, I'm using my Ungor Raiders just to help finish off these Skinks, because frankly, they will do fairly well here. And I just need to get rid of these guys. I can't have them joining this fight. And I do have my armor-piercing missiles here aimed at Krokgar, so that should definitely help. Unfortunately, those Ungor Raiders are gone. So, more Chaos Poison Warhounds. I'm going to send them in, try and finish off this stuff. So I'm going to go for these guys. And unfortunately, my Ungor, you know, ran away over there. So really, you know, really not a lot left on either side, to be honest. And you see Morga taking a ton of damage. He has taken so much, but these Saurus Warriors, they're still fighting. It's really annoying. So I'm going to use these guys to help wrap him up. Because frankly, I should have got Morga out of that fight ages ago. Because with, you know, Beastman's pretty awful leadership, all it would take is for Crockguard to charge in here, one chomp on Morga, and I could rout, you know. It's not great. I mean, he's still got 2 units of Temple Guard running around. That's pretty scary. He's got over 100 Temple Guards still on the field. So I'm getting some guys back, so that's good news. You see Crockguard, very injured. He's on 1,000 health, so he's not going to last too long, hopefully. But these Temple Guard are going to be an absolute pain. So here I've managed to consolidate. So I've got, you know, people again. I have some beasts ready to do stuff. So that's great news for me. So here he's trying to bring everything back, but I just have so much more maneuverability. All of his you know, skinks are gone. Oh no, he still has some chameleon skinks. Seriously? These guys do not quit. Anyway, but so I can send one guy through here, one guy around here. I can start running circles around him basically, because I think these guys have perfect vigor as well. I believe. Let's have a look. The other Centaurs do. Which one is it? Rowdy, okay, and that gives perfect vigor. Okay, so unless their leadership is wavering, they do have perfect vigor. So that's great. So you can see he's still fresh, despite the fact they've been running around the entire time. So that's great news. So here, getting a ton of damage on Crockguard now. So he's down to 800. I say a ton of damage, I'm not like 200 damage. But you can see that's really starting to mount, and he's just not getting his Temple Guard to the fight quick enough. And as soon as he gets near, I can just run everything away. So that's great news. Over here, he's chasing by Ungol Raiders, so they're just running away. I'm actually going to send them into melee against those chameleon skinks, because I outnumber them and they're already wavering. And I'm sending everything else behind. And I'm getting my Chaos Warhounded poison around the back as well. Hopefully I can just envelop that guy. So here, you can see Crockguard now. He's running away, and he's only got 100 health left. Oop, 23 health. At that point, I turn him off fire at will, because I don't want them to waste any more shots. And I'm just going to charge him in melee. So, yeah, they should be able to do 23 damage at some point, right? 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 Come on, guys. There we go. So that's Crockguard dead. So, Temple Guard, still pretty good leadership, unfortunately. But hopefully I get a good surround on him. They'll be gone. And he realizes this. At this point, I can just run circles around him all day. I still have load. I've got, like a third ammo for each of these guys. They'll be able to whittle down, you know, those guys a lot. I can just throw Ungor at them to slow them down, turn my archers around. I mean, it would just take ages, but I'd do it. So, fair enough. Fair enough, really, for ducking out. I'd quit at that point as well. It's just boring otherwise, right? So, yeah. So, I think this matchup works pretty well. And I think a lot of that is just those Minotaurs are great weapons. Just tear things apart. He was having to focus on them so much at the end. Like, he was constantly just had Temple Guard just chasing him down. So if they stopped for a second, you know, I'd have to worry about him. So really, really tough. But yeah, I think this is a good matchup, honestly, for the Beastmen, which is pretty great. Like you'd think, you know, Beastmen with their bad leadership, all the terror that you know the Lizardmen would bring would really just screw them over. But honestly, it works quite well. I mean, all their heavy hitters are kind of slow and plodding. So the Beastmen with their, like, you know, crazy vigor for their Centaurs and things, you can just keep running circles around stuff. And that really helps. And also, if they did bring just, like, elite stuff, and just, you know, expect to just be able to take all that damage, eventually, you know, Morga's going to turn one of them into Chaos Spawn for some free, you know, free damage there. So, it's pretty useful. It's pretty good. But you can see Crockguard did pretty well, but he was chasing Ungors a lot, you know? I mean, he probably killed some Minotaurs too, but not a huge amount. The Skink Chief, again, not a huge amount of kills, but he was focusing on my heroes quite a lot. But it didn't seem to do a huge amount, honestly. So, I don't know. I think it just took too much damage early on. So his Skink Chief was constantly running away. So that's a pity. Could have protected it better. Also, the Chameleon Skinks, putting them right in front of my army. I think if you're going to vanguard them, you need to put them on the sides. Because, you know, the chances are, even though, you know, Ungol Raiders can vanguard and everything, you tend to just put them with your front line, don't you? So, yeah, they're just going to get some easy shots on the Chameleon Skinks. Where are they? The Chameleon Skinks, yeah. So, that's a shame. But these guys did do a ton of damage to my Centaurs, which was a massive pain. I really needed them. I mean, you saw how useful they were in that fight. But yeah, actually the throwing axes, I think, were more formidable than the Centaurs are great weapons in this engagement. But still, it's interesting. So I like this matchup very much. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.